All right, guys, going to run through this review with you for your test tomorrow. So I'm going to go pretty quickly. I'm not going to put it on a setting to where you can go back or skip as much as you need to just watch what you need to watch, and hopefully you'll do well tomorrow. This first one, what I always do on these is I look where the bigger W is, and it's in the denominator, which means the W is going to stay in the denominator. And remember, when you divide, you subtract exponents. So if you do -2 minus -3, you get +1. So the answer is just 1 over W. The other way you could do that is you can move, because they're both negative, you could flip them both and write it like this. And then obviously the W on the bottom is 1 bigger. So either way you want to go with that. Number 2, remember the exponent outside goes for everything inside. So I'm going to get 3 to the -3, A to the -9, B to the -15. All of that gets flipped because they're all negative. Don't forget to do 3 to the 3rd power, make it 27, A to the 9th, B to the 15th. Don't forget your 1 in your numerator. Number 3, you have a 3 and a 9, so they cancel. Gives you a 3 in the denominator. There's nothing to do with the x or the c cubed. They're just stuck with those. The d, -1, gets flipped to the top. And there's already 1d there. If you bring up another one, it gives you d squared. Or you could subtract exponents, and 1 minus -1 is 2. So either way you want to go there. Let's go to 4. These are pretty quick. Number 4 has multiplication. When you multiply, just multiply straight across. Don't forget, when you multiply, you add exponents on the top. You get x squared y to the -1 when I multiply those. In my denominator, I get 3x to the -4 y squared. So I'm sitting there looking at that thinking, okay, I've got a 3 in the denominator, nothing to do with a 3. The bigger x is on the top, so if I subtract 2 minus -4, it gives me 6. The bigger y is in the denominator. 2 minus -1 is 3. And that's it. The other way you could do it, remember, you can flip the negative ones and go that way. Number 5, when you multiply, you add exponents. So if I multiply these two, I'm going to get -8 to the 4th power. And I believe that's, gosh, I don't remember. I think it's positive. I know it's positive because a negative raised to an even power is positive. Number 6, just multiply. Remember, when you multiply, you add exponents, but don't forget the coefficients. 5 times 3 is 15. W to the 9th, x to the -3. And do not ever leave a negative exponent in your final answer. So I'm going to flip that -3 and make it x cubed. All right? That's the first part of your test. I'm going to make sure that's all I have on this slide. Sure is. Let's go to the second one. Second one, the first problem says determine whether the function is a polynomial. If so, write it in standard form and state its degree, type, and leading coefficient. Okay, so it is a polynomial. So I'm going to put yes, I guess yes, it is a polynomial. Standard form means decreasing order in order of the exponents. So I'm going to go 8x cubed plus 15x squared plus 6x. That's standard form. Then it says the degree. The degree is the biggest exponent, which is 3. It's cubic because degree is 3. Leading coefficient is 8. I'm going to put LC beside the 8 for leading coefficient because it's the leading coefficient. All right, the second one says evaluate using direct substitution. It says x is -4. Direct substitution looks like this. I'm going to take the 4 and put it everywhere I see an x. I see one there. I see 1/2 times 4 to the 4th power minus 3/4 times 4 cubed plus 10. And you can use your calculator, whatever you needed to use here. 4 to the 4th power is 256. Half of that would be 128. That'd be 3 times. It'd be minus, I don't know, I'll put an equal sign there. Minus 16 there. Oops, that's not right. I'm trying to do this in my head. Sorry about that. Be minus 48 there plus 10. Give me just a second here. I don't have my calculator. That's 130. Well, that's 80, 90. I think I'm pretty sure it's 94. But again, I did that without a calculator. And the last part here, synthetic substitution, my favorite way to do it. I'm going to put 3 in our box right here. I'm going to go -7, 11, 4. Don't forget your 0 at the end because it's missing the constant term. Start out bringing the -7 straight down. Multiply by the 3. Put it there. Add. Multiply by the 3, add, multiply by the 3, add, and whatever your remainder is your answer. So f of 3 would be -78. That's a -78 in that box. It looks like a 28. Next slide. Okay, graph, this is where the review starts. The first one is in slope-intercept. Two things about the first one. One is in slope-intercept form. It doesn't look like it, but if you just switch around the 2 and the 3, it's slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go up 3 for my y-intercept. Slope is -2, so I'm rising -2, running 1. I'm going to connect the dots, but it's a less than. The second thing you need to recognize is it's less than, which means you're going to graph in shade. And you also got to worry about solid or broken. This is a broken line because there's no equal to, so I'm drawing my broken line right through there. And remember that we did this last week. Don't forget what point you're going to try. We're going to plug in 0, 0, see if it works. If I plug in 0 on the left, I get 0. On the right, I get 3 minus 0. Is 0 less than 3 minus 0? Yes, it is. So you're going to shade towards the 0, 0, which is that side. 11, do not shade. There's no greater than or less than. There's absolute value, which means you're just going to have a V shape here. Don't forget, you're going to opposite of what's inside, exactly what's outside. So I'm going to go right 1, down 3. That's where my vertex is going to be, right 1, down 3. And because there's a 2 in the front, I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, draw my V. And guys, that's all there is to that one. Okay, no shading because there's no greater than or less than. Just a normal graphing your V like we did way back. Last slide. Here we go. Write the quadratic function. Write the quadratic of a function whose graph has the given characteristics. And this one says the x-intercepts are -2 and 5. Remember, intercept form, what we're going to do is we're going to put the a in the front like we always do. The intercepts are like, it's also called factored form. So I'm going to put the x plus 2 and x minus 5. What I have to do now is find the a. And I'm going to do that by using this point right here. Why does it pass through 6, 2? Because it works. So I'm going to put the 2 in for the y and the 6 in for the x's, just like that. When I do that, I get 2 equals a, that's 8, and that's 1, so it's really 8a. If I divide both sides by 8, I get 2 8ths, which is really 1/4. So my final answer is going to be f of x is 1/4 x plus 2, x minus 5. That's the factored form, or the intercept form, however you want to call it. Okay, last one. Use the quadratic formula to solve the equation. So I'm going to do this for quadratic formula. I'm always going to do the b squared minus 4ac first. So I'm doing, this is what I'm doing first, b squared minus 4ac. B squared would be 25 minus 4 times a times c. And if I work that out, I get negative 23 when I work that out, that's what's going to go inside my radical. So I'm going x equals negative b plus or minus the square root. I already did that part, all over 2a. So all I can do is two things. I can take the I out of the square root. Can't break down 23 at all, and you can multiply 2 times 3 is 6. And there you go. Guys, that's all there is. Please watch this. Please study. Remember, this is going to replace your lowest test score of the year. So, make sure you know it. Use this to your advantage. I'll see you tomorrow.